Good evening. Hello, hello, hello. This is Jason Livanis with Titillating Tarot with Jason Livanis. I am excited to be here. However, I'm not going to lie. I am a mucosal mess. That's right, folks. I am a phlegmatic wonder. Here in the New York City area, it's gotten quite cold. I know that Janet out in Washington is also freezing her tootsies off. And so I'm a little under the weather. However, I am not going to let that get in my way. You might hear me horking things up. However, I will try and be as polite as possible as much as, as much as I'm known for being polite. I want to continue to tell everybody how excited I am and how titillated I am because I've had in excess of almost 15 to 2,000 listeners, nation and or international. I guess people can listen in internationally. But I want to thank everybody for listening in. I've had a wonderful response, and it keeps growing and growing, and I'm totally psyched. I am titillated, as it were. Before I go any further, I want to give credit to where credit is due. My human design counselor and my blue-eyed goddess, the lady who is responsible for me basically beginning this program. I would love to bring her on the air. Janet, are you there?
I am here in the flesh.
Thank you. And I think, as you said, things are a little on the nipply side where you're at.
Indeed. 28 degrees for us on the Pacific Coast is kind of chilly.
Well, everybody knows that they can go to my website at www.Titillating Tarot with Jason Livanis, and there is contact information there if they're looking for a tarot intuitive reading by me. And, of course, if they're looking for someone to do an incredible human design / astrological counseling, they can contact you where, madam?
At www.living-astrology.com. And by the way, for people who are listening, I've put your website address in the chat box. And the chat box is, if you're listening to us on the computer, you could just scroll down a little bit below the player, and you'll see the chat box or the chat screen, and the address is there, as well as the call-in number if anybody wants to call in for a reading tonight.
Yes. And I have to tell everybody, last night I had insomnia as I was fighting the phlegm. Well, that sounds like a new rock band, Fighting the Phlegm. I came across a fantastic video. Janet, you just gave an interview with a life coachy kind of woman, and it's about 25 minutes long, and it was fucking fascinating. It was so wonderful. I commented on it on Facebook and all that stuff. Can you tell us where we can find that interview, please?
Oh, yeah, that is on my Living Astrology Facebook page. You just scroll down and you'll see it's called Life Purpose. Can you discover your life purpose? And the whole talk was about life purpose and how we can look at that in human design as an energetic signature that you bring with you into this lifetime.
Wunderbar.
It was really fun.
It was really fantastic, so much that I couldn't sleep after it. I had to meditate to get myself to go back to sleep. So anywho, I am going to carry on with my insanity, and I thank you for all of your help, and I thank you for being a guiding light and for coaching me and helping me get my shit in a pile, as it were.
You are most welcome.
So, to all of you listeners out there, let me just give you a blanket apology. I am hardly a soft touch kind of guy. I'm definitely more of a New Yorker kind of a guy. And right off the bat, if I do the blanket apology, you understand that if you tune into my show, I assume that you're signing up for a certain amount of titillation and abuse. I'm foul-mouthed and I don't make any apologies. Well, I make an apology for it, but I don't really make an apology for it. So that being said, as you probably noticed, I do not have intro music and exunt music, interestingly enough, because I have a music degree. And I have instead decided to put out there a challenge. And the challenge I mentioned last week, and I'm going to mention it again. Anyone who sends me at the zenstaging@gmail.com, or you can go to my webpage and get that email. Anyone who sends me, and please send me the sound bites, send me the actual MP3s, please or the link to such, whether it's YouTube, I am looking for intro music for my show and exiting music for my show that sort of encapsulates my zany, somewhat raunchy style. I've had a really great response so far. I am going to get to everyone, and what I am proposing is that I would like to give away 2 one-hour readings. Anybody who gives me the music for the intro and anyone who gives me the music for the exit, of which, by the way, can be the same person, highly unlikely, I will be giving away 2 one-hour readings, each one with a value of $200, at which point you will get some astrological workup, you'll get numerological workup, and, of course, my intuitive tarot blobbity-blob goopity-goop. So that's kind of what's happening on that end. I'm still listening, so have patience. And one of the wonderful things about that is you may give your reading away for the holidays. It's a wonderful gift. If you think that someone is so inclined or somebody is all messed up or not, and they need help or they need some guidance, it would be my pleasure. You may give that reading to a friend or a loved one and use that for the holidays. I will probably choose my music after the first of the year. So that's how that's going to be happening. As you know, my show is all about demystifying the tarot and bringing it out of sort of the dark ages, some sort of, feral gypsy card scenario where you think that you go to a carnival or you go to some back roads and you get a reading by somebody using these cards, and they, of course, want to sell you a bath with all kinds of, emollients in it so that you can get rid of the hex that's on you. That shit doesn't work with me at all, and that's not what I'm about. I'm going to be educating, as I have been for the last 2 to 3 shows, taking 1 card a week in succession and discussing it, because these cards go back to ancient Babylonia, to the time before Christ, to Egypt, to ancient Greece, and I generally touch on those subjects. So this week, as you very well may know or not know, I am going to be discussing the second card of the tarot. Even though the 0 card is the Fool, the 1 card is the Magician, and the second card now is the High Priestess. And no, it doesn't mean that she's been smoking some good ganja. In my deck, she's called the Priestess. In the Rider-Waite Tarot deck, she's called the High Priestess. Now, I don't know what to say except when you listen to my first show, which was arguably pretty boring in my opinion because I had to get some basic groundwork information out there, I discussed how the soul thinks in images. It does not think in words. And so it's pictures, it's images, how the soul interacts and how it remembers and it records in this place called the solar plexus. And lifetime after lifetime, it's through these images and these feelings associated with said images that we remember things. That being said, I don't know what to say except whoever was originally creating the Rider-Waite Tarot deck was definitely stoned. They fuck royal. And I was going to go through what the card should have in it as per ancient symbology and this and that and blah, blah, blah. But I decided instead to really focus on the card that I have, which is the Priestess and her symbology. So we can think of it as an updated version. But I have to tell you, the Rider-Waite card for this particular card, the High Priestess, is doo-doo. Big-time cocky duty. So, that being said, I would like to take my first caller and intersperse callers with information so that it isn't one big data dump. So I don't really care because we've got a bunch of people in the queue. Blue-eyed Goddess, give me whoever you'd like to give me first, and we can have some fun.
All right, we have Rose Maria on the line with us.
Rose Maria, are you there?
Yep. How are you?
Hi, sweetheart. How are you?
Doing great.
Good. And where are you calling in from?
From the New Jersey area, down south area of Jersey.
Oh, well, nice. I'm a Jersey girl, too. Whereabouts in Jersey?
Near 10 minutes away from Philadelphia in Cherry Hill.
Oh, got it. Wonderful. And I take it you're probably dealing with a lot of cold as well.
Yeah, I got a cold, too, so you're not the only one.
Lovely. We can sneeze and deal with our phlegm together. So, had you been listening to the show, or is this your first time? Are you a virgin?
I heard you the last time you were on, and you were packed.
Okay.
And that means you're good. That means you're good.
You're sweet. It's luck of the draw. Okie dokie. So tell me, Maria, do you want to discuss the topic of the show? Do you want to get a general? What's on your mind, Mama?
A lot of things.
Okay.
A lot of things.
Go for it.
Like my work, and I like the topic too. So it's like I think I hit the right one with you tonight, with the work and relationship, everything. I got everything on my plate.
What do you want to hit first?
Whatever you can see or feel. I guess work.
Okay. I'm going to pull 3 cards. Lovely. Yes. Awesome. Okay. Listen. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. In the immediate past, the 4 of Wands is picked. And if you see my tarot deck, you'll see there are these wonderful, beautiful flora and fauna looking picture. And there are these hands that are reaching up out of the ground. And they are picking oranges.
Hello?
Denoting patience. Denoting someone who has put their time in. And in the past, it says, you've really done a really fucking good job. I don't know, what is it that you do?
I just came back from a trip, and there were some issues with a friend of mine, and I stood my ground and kind of told them off.
Okay, but right now what I've got right now is I'm picking up is more your work situation. What is it that you do with work?
I do with work, it's IT security for computers.
Okay. Well, it says that you've done a good job and you're well respected and that you reap the benefits of it. I take it you're still working?
No, I'm looking for work.
You're looking for work. Well, this card in the past says you've done good. Your resume is good. Do not freak out over that. And right now, I'm going to make the assumption that you did well enough that you're sort of not freaked out about getting a job immediately, because the Hierophant is the card that is in the present for you. And he is totally zen. He is chilled out. He is one with the universe. He has the eye of God all about him. He is a stellar individual. And this denotes who you are right now. So there's no hysteria with respect to getting a job, pardon me, and and looking for a job that you're going to have no problems getting that job. However, there is a however. In the immediate future, I don't know, tell me a little bit about the methods you were using to find a job.
Message?
Method,
the way I was doing,
METHOD.
The only thing I was doing was like sending it through the emails, through internet or word of mouth.
Me don't like it. Me not like it long time. You understand?
Right.
I want you to get your ass together. I want you to collect yourself, and I want you to get yourself a bang-up resume and hit headhunters. You need, at this point in your career, to be represented by someone and have a headhunter represent you so that they can negotiate a proper fee. The reason I'm saying this is because the 5 of Wands, which is the next progression after the 4 of Wands, it says if you do the same do the way that you've been doing it, you're going to get more what?
Bad results.
Right.
Got it.
So I want you to make sure that you go about finding a job in a different way and promise me that you're going to use a headhunter, okay?
Okay.
Okay? Because it says here, if you don't, you're going to be making the same mistakes over and over again, expecting a different result, and that is the epitome of insanity, okay?
Okay. Cool.
All right. you wanted to do another topic. Let's do one more topic on you.
Okay.
What other thing? You want to talk about love? You want to talk about a parent? You want to talk about a girlfriend, a boyfriend? What do you want to talk about, Mama?
Love interest.
Say again?
Love interest.
Is there someone in particular, or do you just would like a general reading with respect to your relationship to love?
There's one that I'm interested in.
Let me get the name on that, please.
Sure, Ralph.
Ralphie Poo-Poo. Okay. Ralphie Poo-Poo is engaged or married at the moment? He's a taken man?
No. That's probably me.
Okay. Okay. So listen, I don't know what your involvement with Ralph has been. I have this nagging feeling when you said his name that my stomach twisted that he might be involved and you don't know it. Are you guys close right now?
Pretty much close, yeah.
Okay. I want you to do your due diligence and find out that he doesn't have someone on the side that he might be looking at. However, in the past, it shows the Ten of Cups, which means a bright interest, a good scenario, a positive interaction. Then you get right now the Nine of Cups, which is phenomenal, which is more joy and rainbows flying out of your ass. It's fantastic. So I would say to you this, go ahead and ask him out. Take the bull by the horns and ask him out. Have you done this yet?
Yes.
And what did he say?
He didn't have time and all that.
I want you to ask him out again. I think he might be scared because the card that I pull afterwards is the Star, which means breaking through to a realistic understanding. Once you ask him out, you're going to get clarity as to whether this guy is going to be interested or not. The first time he choked because he's not used to being asked out. The Star in the forward, in the position that we've pulled it here, says that it can be a good thing, but you can't make chicken soup out of chicken shit. Right now, you have a pair of blinders on because either hormones or what it is that he does is sort of not giving you the full picture. And once you do ask him out and start to go out in a different capacity, you will see the forest from the trees, and he might not be everything that you thought he was. However, I'm going to tell you this. If you do ask him out, I pulled a fourth card, which I don't generally do, but I figured you're one of my Jersey girls, why not? The Ace of Swords comes up, which means truth will come out. And I feel that when you ask him, the truth will come out, and you'll know one way or another with respect to Ralphie Poo. Okay?
Right. Yeah, I just left there. He's in one country. I just came back from there.
Okay. Wonderful.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put you back in the queue, and I'm going to hit some more information, and I hope that you enjoyed your mini reading.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. All right. So, that being said, pardon me, y'all, let's go to this card, which is the High Priestess. Now, one of the things about the High Priestess, which I think is interesting, I'm going to throw this word out over and over and over again, which is duality, 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 duality. The first card, you remember, was the Fool. The second card was the Magician, beginning to realize that he has all of what he needs and is focused. However, interestingly enough, the High Priestess is really what we're all about. Well, I can't say all of us are about, but anybody who is involved in metaphysics or parapsychology. The High Priestess is the state of the newly awakened human being who, for the first time, stirrings of self-awareness. To coin a phrase, if anybody remembers Shakespeare, he says, "There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, than are dreamt of in your philosophy." Well, what he's trying to say there is that there's a lot more going on than meets the eye. And so we got people like Shakespeare, we have people from the beginning of time who discuss the fact that there's there's something going on out there. And what's incredible about the card is she doesn't give up everything right up front. She's, definitely making you buy the cow before you get the milk. Her punani is being saved. She is hanging out, and she is not going to just vomit all of her information and all of her wonders upon you. It is the card that shows the initial spiritual going to the ascent or the secret or a secret society. What does that mean? Anybody who starts to realize as they develop that, there's something else going on out there, and they start to have dreams. They start to have more coincidences than they can really explain. They start to get involved in, I remember being a kid being involved in UFOs and wanting to do telekinesis and bend spoons and move shit across the table with the power of my mind. I just went to go see with my nephew Lance, who I adore. We went to go see Doctor Strange, and I thought, God damn it, why can't I? God damn it. First of all, I want his cape. That's just right off the bat, fashion statement. I want his damn cape. But I very much thought to myself, wouldn't it be great to just have these kind of powers? Well, that's what this card is all about. And I want you to think, when you think about this card, the word gnosis, which is a Greek word. It is knowledge of the universe revealed by inspiration and insight. So basically what the card is talking about is taking stuff from the spirit world and bringing it into the physical through thought, through writing, through the mouth, through communication. And it's through reading these books and these understandings that is of paramount importance. So I want everyone to understand that this is a card and she's not active. Also, when you look at the rider-waite card, she's sitting down. She's very passive. In my deck, she looks like Shiva. She's got all of these arms going everywhere. And you see this blue light coming from above, and she stands on a moon crescent, which is also embedded in the earth, and she's very grounded. I will get later on in the second part of the show a little bit more into the symbology of it. But what you should understand is that when we get these feelings that niggle at us, that's right, I said niggle, that niggle at us, that niggling feeling that something else is going on, and you start to investigate it, that you're on the right track. You're beginning to get awakened, and that's what this card is discussing. The awakenings between the physical world and the spiritual world, the delights of the flesh and of the mind and all these things versus the dream state and all of this information, the great riddle, solving the great riddle of being. So that being said, I would like to bring in our second victim, and let's find out, who do we have on the line next? Hello, caller.
You have
Jason. Hi,
you have Dee Dee on the line.
What's happening, Dee Dee? Where are you calling in from?
I'm calling from Colorado. How are you, Jason?
I am wonderful. You sound like you are. Are you smoking something good? Because I wish I was. I'm sick of the dog right now in that Colorado where everything is legal.
God.
Talk to me, Mama.
Yes.
What would you like to talk about today?
Oh my God, I have just been enjoying the show so far. You have really been tickling. I love your personality. It's just wonderful energy. Just everything. Just absolutely wonderful for you.
Even through all the problems, I can't thank you enough.
Yes.
All right.
I've just been cracking up like, oh my God,
would you
like? Yes.
Would you like to do a general reading, or is there something you want to know about in particular today?
I do want to know about this move. I did apply for a home, and I want to know whether or not we'll be approved to move in.
All right, hang on.
Me and my family. Yes.
Uh-huh. Okay, Dee Dee, yes, and yes. Now, the first card that I pull is the card of chaos. I'm going to go out on a limb and say this has been one fucked up process. You've seen a lot of places. Yeah, It's been this information, you didn't have that information, somebody lied to you about this, you had to do the due diligence on that. That's in the past, okay? I am so happy to report to you that this move is going to be going through within probably the next month or so. Not even, 19 days I'm going to give you. And the number 19 comes up because that's the Sun card. The Sun card, which is the embracing card, the warm, happy, fuzzy, yes, God damn it, you're going to get it. I'm excited. This is a really wonderful card. So I want you to know this is going to go through. Now, in the future, in el futuro, as my Espanol friends would like to say, we have the Six of Swords. Interesting card in my deck because the bottom part of it looks like a motherboard. You know when you open up, like in electronics, and you see that little green board, and it's got all those little blips of soldering and stuff on it?
Yes.
Well, that's the bottom part of the card. And then the upper part of the card is the sky. And what this means is that going forward, you're going to have to really think about, interestingly enough, the, how do I say this, the technology that you're going to be using in the home. In other words, I want you to check out in this home everything, make sure that you have an inspection. I mean, have one inspection and then pay a second person, a second person for the inspection. I am not crazy about the plumbing. I am not crazy about the electrical. I am not crazy about something that's going on a physical level with the place. I think you're going to get the place, but I think that somebody is maybe not telling you everything you need to know. So do me a favor, please. Make sure that you have the place inspected out the wazoo. You understand?
Okay.
Now, the very next thing I'm going to tell you is, and I don't mean to be the harbinger of fear, I want you to make sure that this house has a top-notch, I don't care if you have to sell your children, that's right, I'm advising, sell your children, I don't care what you need to do, save up your pennies, and I want you to get a top-notch alarm system, security system. Do you understand?
Okay, yes, I do.
My gut feeling says that you need to make sure that you have that.
Okay, I sure will.
And that is what I have for you on the house situaciones. Anything else before I put your beautiful face back in the queue?
Yes, can we please look at this situation with the girl that I take care of? She has some situations. I'm a host home provider. She has some situations going on with her child. So
hold on,
trying
please.
to see which way we're going with that.
Hold on, please. Let me. I'm shuffling the cards. Can I have the first name on the lady? So you're talking about the woman whose child you're watching, correct?
No, I take care of her. I'm a host home provider. I take care of mental and physical disabled adults.
I understand that part.
Okay.
Okay. So you want to know about this
and
person?
And she has a child. She has a child, and we're having some situation with her newborn baby because of decisions that she'd made according.
Okay. Hang on. Hold on. Hang on. Okay, so listen. This is a really good spread, so I want you to breathe easy for a moment, okay?
Okay.
In the past, I have the 9 of discs, which shows that you have been fucking fantastic. God bless you for the work that you've done. If you have not been thanked, Didi, I am thanking you right now on behalf of all mothers. I am thanking you on behalf of the universe. I am thanking you for the work you have done. I don't care that you're getting paid for it. I am letting you know that you have gone above and beyond, and you have earned some special points in heaven. Do you understand?
Yes, I do. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes.
That's the card in the past. Now, I love the card that you have at present. The card that you have at present is a card of the Emperor. This card denotes you. And he's gorgeous, by the way. If you check out my deck, he's gorgeous. He's got a gorgeous dick. He sits in this throne. He's got he's hung like a moose, and he is got this scepter in one hand, and he's got this the ball in the other hand, and I can't remember what they call that, the sphere of life or whatever. And it is another card of Apollo. But what it is the card, he is turning to his right-hand side, and he is listening to the wise sage. Number one, that wise sage could be me. However, do you work with an older male gentleman? Okay, the service through which you work through, is there a person who's a counselor or somebody that you work with that is an older gentleman?
No, not on a personal level daily. No, most of the ones I deal with are females. So.
Okay. Well, I don't know if you have a big old lesbian that works there or someone who has a more masculine side, but this card denotes somebody who's getting advice from an older male. I don't know whether you think you might want to talk to your father about it, or this card is referring to me. My gut is not squeezing in any one direction, but what I want you to know is that whatever the situation is with this child, it is going to even out in a major way, that you do not need to stress over it, because the Two of Discs is in the future, which is balance, which is happiness, which is things even out. So if they're topsy-turvy right now, I'm going to tell you that within the next 2 months, all the shit's going to go in the right direction with respect to this.
Okay. Amen. Yes.
Okay? So
yes.
I don't want you freaking out over it. I want you to know that it's going to end up being balanced. It's going to end up sort of working itself out. And let me ask you a weird question. Do you see a counselor or a therapist?
She does.
And is it a man?
I haven't met him yet. We're still going through that process. I believe so.
Okay. I like this person, and I want you to talk to this person as well, okay?
Okay.
I have a feeling that that person is going to be giving you the insight that you need to make sure that this balances out. I don't see any trouble going forward. Next 2 months, I predict that this is going to even itself out, and you will not have to bust your ass over it, okay?
Okay, yes.
Wonderful. Dee Dee, thank you so much for calling in. I sincerely appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Blessings to you. Thank you.
Okay, so let's get back to our high priestess, our stoned priestess. First of all, I also want you to know that when it comes to the tarot, just because there's a guy on the card or there's a girl on the card, that means nothing. The figure that pretty much has been put on there, with the exception of maybe one or two, a maternal or a paternal card, like, for instance, the Emperor is the daddy of the deck, like me, Big Daddy J, is the daddy of the deck. It's the paternal card. But for the most part, they're just conduits through which the symbolism is being expressed, because in most of the cards, the duality, heaven and earth, moon and earth, the spiritual and the realized plane that we're on right now, that is all being expressed in the cards that we have. So this happens to be a lady in the card, and it's interesting because, how do I say this? Deep down inside, this priestess, she has the spirituality, but she makes you come to her. She makes you do the work, because what has happened is we have swiped aside through here, and you've heard me discuss this in the last show. We've swiped aside, or we have come through this veil of Maya, veil of forgetfulness. This card is often associated with Isis, which is from ancient Egypt. We'll get to that in a little bit more. Deep down inside, this card knows that there's a spiritual being, and the rest of his being is in the unconscious. And so since he does not know where to start seeking, he starts to seek in the hereafter, in the afterlife, or what happens after death in the spiritual realm. And so this is where man starts his, as my Jewish brothers would say, mishigas. He starts to study philosophy. He starts to study psychology. He starts to study the religions of all countries. He starts to study the arts. And when I say arts, I'm talking about the healing arts, musical arts, the visual arts, etc. He's studying all of these things. There's so much to talk about on this subject. I might end up doing a little bit more next week, but I am going to jump over to another caller because I see I only have about 25 minutes left, and I do want to do some more reading. So, Blue-Eyed Goddess, would you be kind enough to tell me who is our next victim? Hello? Oh, okay.
Nancia is your next person.
Nancia?
Yes.
Hello, Nancia. Are you there? Hello? I no hear nobody. Okay. So, I'm not sure what's happening.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. Hello?
Yes, sorry. It was my phone. Yes, thoroughly enjoying the show.
I am glad you are. What do you want to talk about, lady?
I have really two things that's bothering me, but I'm trying to weigh out which one's more important. Now,
and remember, Nancy, you can always get in touch with me via my website. We can do a reading there, blah, blah, blah. However, I just want you to know that, and you can also, of course, call in another time as well. But give me the thing that's most pressing.
Well, my stepson's mom, I feel like, is trying to contact me. She keeps hinting my stepson to use my phone to contact me, and her sister, who spoke to my stepson yesterday, also has been trying to get in contact with me. Now, I think I've been really good handling them in the past, but I feel like it's all meant to come to fruition like this, but I just want to know if she's trying to get in contact, and secondly, does she know that she can't, I guess, take advantage of me because she did with my husband.
Okay, so this is what I'm going to say. Nancy,
yes.
Pulled the 9 of discs for you in the past. I think anybody that would fuck with you is stupid. Something tells me... I really don't know how to say this, but the 9 of discs comes up, and on top there's this maternal, fierce woman. She is largely breasted, and she has taken no fucking prisoners. Do you understand? So I want you to know you've been a fantastic guard dog. This is what I've pulled for you in the present. It is number 20, one of my Blue Goddess's favorite cards, L'Emergence, Emergence. I think some good will come out of her contacting. I want you to understand that it will be a good experience, and everyone is going to grow from it. And they're not going to grow through pains of, poison and shame and disaster. It's going to be a good situation. However, before anything happens, you are going to take this woman, and you're going to meet her in a public place, and you're going to calmly and lovingly set down some ground rules. You're not going to threaten her, but you're going to let her know that you are going to allow this situation to happen because you're going to be coming from a loving place. Should there be any hint, any iota, any trembling of any kind of boundary that gets violated, that you're going to bring the fucking hammer down. And you're going to bring it down hard. Do you understand?
That's funny because I saw them doing that. So that's...
Well, there you go. Here's the universe who is coming to you to tell you, because the card in the future, I want you to understand something. Your son and your husband, once you allow this to happen, they're going to see this woman for who and what she is. And the Knight of Cups comes out. And it shows that they have had some distorted view of who this person is, and it's going to come to light. And I'm afraid, I hate to sound like an asshole, but I'm afraid that when this woman presents herself, she's going to come up short. And your child and your husband are going to be kind of like, wow, really? I'm associated with this person? Shit. So I want you to know there are no fleas on you. Act like a lady, and don't worry about anything. I feel that the contact will be bearing fruit, and it will not be negative, okay?
Okay. Understood. Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much.
You are so welcome. So is there anything else hardcore pressing, or shall I move on to more information?
Well, just really quickly, my husband has been wanting this position with this company called TTX. He's waited forever. I've got this intuition.
Stop. I just was shuffling the cards, and a card literally fell out of the deck. It is the Knight of Wands. It's what we call the big dick card. He is large. He is in charge. He has impressed these people. I feel he is going to get this job, and I want you to just tell him one thing. Go easy peasy. Don't chew everyone up in your past, because he's so smart. He's so good at what he does. He's so impressive. We don't want him freaking out anybody. But yes is the answer. I feel he's going to get the job. Please contact me at my website and let me know, okay?
Awesome. Thank you so much for everything. Thank you.
My pleasure. God bless you. Happy holidays, happy Kwanzaa, whatever the hell anybody celebrates these days, okay?
All right. Bye-bye.
All right. So I'm going to give you some more information on this wonderful card, the High Priestess, or the Priestess. It is the second card of the Tarot, and it is symbolized by the Hebraic letter Beth, which it embodies division. So we separate from the spiritual plane, the here and the beyond. Thus begins the wheel of what we call reincarnation and karma. So, you leave the material here and as it is, and there's the esoteric. We take the esoteric values that we have learned, and we bring those with us to the spiritual world, symbols, through knowledge. All of that goes into the spiritual realm. And then we review what we've learned when we go up, to the spiritual world. We hang out with our guides, and they say, you did X, Y, and Z. You did really good with X and Y, but you fucked Z up. You might want to go back and do this one for your soul. And anybody who's out there, please, I highly recommend a book called The Journey of Souls by Michael Newton, who is a PhD. I could go into detail. Don't have the time now. There are two books, Journey of Souls, Destiny of Souls. Do not read those in the wrong order. Read Journey of Souls, and you're going to thank me for it. So after you do the review process, you decide, what are you going to come back down and do again? So the letter Beth, designates the second host of angels, interestingly enough, because the first card was talking about the first host of angels. And I like to talk about the angels because it's Christmas time, and I like a little angel in the Christmas time. So it is the second Sephira, and it corresponds to Hokmah, H-O-K-H-M-A-H. I'm sure I'm bastardizing the, the Hebraic on that. Hokmah, which is for reason, the angel of theoretical reason, which is fantastic because it's all about the mental, inspecting thing, and it discusses a female aspect. So when we look on the card that I have, you see her. She has these arms going out. She is far more active than that other card, which is completely wrong in the way it's depicted, in my opinion. As a matter of fact, what's great about it is you see this beautiful white light she's bringing down, and she's bringing it down from the heavens, and she is getting in touch with the heavens. And it's interesting because this card has both male and female attributes. On her neck, she wears the yin and yang, the female sort of receptive part, which is the one end, and the male, which is the giving part. She stands on a crescent moon, which is right up against and superimposed on the world. Again, these dualities come to us. So we have the world, and then we have the afterworld. The blue light that shines down upon her, it denotes her innermost being that is filled with the pure faith in God, selflessness, and love of mankind. In the foreground, you see red and yellow flowers, and the red, of course, is duality that she has outwardly manifested into the world, and yellow, as we've discussed before, discusses the intellect, which is manifested through language and writing. You know, here the spiritual writings of all kinds come into play, the Bible, the Kabbalah, the Hermetic scriptures, theosophical writings. That's why I said theosophical writings, the Bhagavad Gita, and I could keep going on. Around her neck, she wears this yin and yang, which is a Chinese symbol of the deity resting within itself, and it's black and white. The yin and yang cannot exist without each other. Yin has to have yang. Material has to have the spiritual world. What is supposed to have too, it's supposed to have a black and white foreground, a checkerboard, but it talks about this idea that there is light and dark, masculine and feminine. It's a fantastic card that unfortunately so many of the things are not depicted. And it's sad because it's a fascinating card. If you look at the old card, there are these pillars that are behind her. And there's a J on one pillar, and there's a B on the other. What these pillars are the pillars of Solomon, which he built his temple on, Jachin and Boaz. And you can look all that crap up yourself, but that's why there's a J and a B on it. She's supposed to have 1 foot on the land and 1 foot on the sea. And that doesn't happen in the card. The pillars are male and female. There is a veil behind her, which is the veil of forgetfulness, the Egyptian veil of the goddess Isis, the Hindu god of Maya, and there's the veil of forgetfulness again that comes in. So there's this duality of black and white and male and female, which is fantastic to look at, but unfortunately it's not in the card. So we have 12 minutes left. I have about 3 or 4 more pages of this stuff that we can discuss, but I'm not going to. I'm going to take some more callers. So the next caller I have, I guess, is Carrie. So if you would like to bring Carrie in.
Hi, thanks for taking my call.
Hi, Carrie. How the hell are you?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
Good. Where are you calling in from?
I'm calling from Rhode Island.
Lovely. Lovely, 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 lovely. I had some great times at the Breakers. So, talk to me. What would you like to talk about today?
I'm actually from, I'm not from Newport, but I'm from down near the beaches, so it's pretty nice. I'm just calling in. I'm a first-time listener, and I found your
phone you're a virgin.
I am. So, I mean, I have I've gone through a period in the past 3 years. I'm one of those people that you've mentioned who start becoming more aware with coincidences, good, bad, or indifferent, and I went through a spiritual awakening of sorts. So okay. I'm just calling to see what information you may have for me as we close out
I'm going to do a general pull on you, and I know that sounds dirty, but I'm going to do a general reading on you. Interesting. Okay. Wonderful. And I love it. Okay, listen. The card that I pulled for the other lady, which I discussed, which was the Six of Swords, which talks about technology bringing it, taking from the heavens and bringing technology in. Remember, I think you heard me talk about her getting a good security system. Well, in this card, in the past, it shows you've kind of been from Missouri, the show me state, where you kind of believe you've got 1 foot here, you've got 1 foot there, but you're realizing in the past, this is your card, the High Priestess. She's saying, come to me. Right now, in the present, you have the 8 of Discs. So I'm going to tell you, keep studying, keep meditating, especially for you. I want you to meditate for a minimum of 8 to 10 minutes a day, but no more at this point, okay? I don't want you sitting around like in a pretzel for a half an hour trying to contemplate your navel. I just want like 8 to 10 minutes a day of centering, opening yourself up to the universe, to healthy, positive vibrations. Because the 8 of Discs is around you, which is flowers and happiness and shits and giggles and your crown, your top chakra, opening up and spinning. It also denotes the Jesus Christ, the Buddha center, all of the Lord Ascended Master centers. It talks about the heart. You laughing?
Well, no, you're very spot on. I want more of that in my life, and I've lately not been able to find those 8 minutes to just even in the day to meditate. So
there is nobody that I know that is busier than me. It's all time management. Do you have a smartphone?
I know. Oh, I'm learning. I just went back to work full time after some time off, and
wonderful.
It is a little juggle.
You have a smartphone.
I do. Yep.
I want you to go into your calendar feature. I want you to go into your calendar feature, and I want you to set up a repeating, calendar feature that goes on every day at a certain time, and that you immediately turn on. When you see it, you sit your ass down, and whatever time of the day it is, I hope it's in the beginning part of the day so you can center yourself. I really only need 8 to 10 minutes. There's a reason why I didn't tell you 30. You can't afford that right now. So I just want 8 to 10 minutes. Okay? I just want 8 to 10 minutes for you, and set that alarm so that it goes off, and then you set your timer and you do it. So listen, I don't get the sense that you are a lesbian. However,
no.
in the future, the Lover's card, the 6 card, comes up. And in my deck, I have male, 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 female, and female, female. It means that the Lover's card, do you have a man in your life?
I do.
I like him.
That's the general consensus.
Okay.
We're going through something, and I don't know if it's like a twin flame. I don't know. It is an upheaval, and he's a wonderful man. You're right.
All right. Are you going to listen to me or not? Hello.
Yep.
Hi. I only have a couple of minutes left. Let me tell you what I have to tell you. Okay. The Lovers comes up, and it's 2 women. Would you do me a favor and stop wearing the dick? Would you please go ahead? Would you please stop wearing his testes as earrings? Would you please do me a favor and couple his testes and tell him how wonderful he is? Would you tell him what kind of a great lover and what kind of a great man he is? He needs to hear it. He needs mommy. Oh, God.
Mm-hmm.
So
I know, and I'm a Leo. It's hard. It is hard.
Yeah. Do me a favor. Stop it. Just do me a favor. Put the gun down. Take the strap-on off and be the woman. Be the loving, nurturing mommy. Yes. Be the mommy. Right. Be the wonderful woman that you are, and let him know how valued he is. He is having a freak-out scene right now for no particular reason other than he doesn't feel secure. He feels like this job is taking center stage and that he is not important. So I want you to go. I want you to massage him. I want you to tell him how wonderful he is. Get it?
Yes, that's wonderful advice, actually, and I needed to hear that.
Girl, soft touch. It's the holidays. Get that mistletoe everywhere and kiss his ass as much as you can. He's worth it. I really have a great feeling about this man. I want you to know he is a sweetheart. Do not bulldoze over him. Are we clear?
Yeah.
All right. Wonderful. I'm going to put you back into the queue. I send you blessings. I think your energy is fucking fantastic. Okay?
Thank you so much. I appreciate it, Jason.
You are very, very welcome. Okay. So we're putting you back in the queue, and I'm looking over my notes here to see if there's something else that I feel really needs to come out. All right. I'm going to tell you the very last thing that I think is interesting since we have about 6 minutes. In the original, what is supposed to be the original tarot, the priestess sits on a throne. The throne has on its arms 2 sphinxes. I didn't say sphincters. I said, as much as being Greek, I enjoy that. But 2 sphinxes. One is in black and one is in white. Now, the one that's in white is supposed to be hidden from us by her robe. Pardon me. However, the one that's black is the one that signifies the physical world. And I think it's interesting to denote why it is that the Sphinx was used in this particular symbology. It is because it is the oracle. The Sphinx in ancient Greek, in Greek mythology, it was the oracle, and it was not a very nice oracle, to be perfectly frank. Oedipus was asked by the peoples if he would please solve the great riddle. Now, pay attention, because I already discussed the great riddle in the past. And basically, the Sphinx would sit up on his hill, and he would breathe poison into the air and kill the people down below. Well, the people got kind of tired of this dragon breath killing them, and they said to Oedipus, would you please solve the riddle, because once you solve the riddle, this damn Sphinx will go away. The famous riddle, for all of you that do not know that, and for all the younger people, the neophytes that don't know, the riddle is this. What is it that has one voice and yet becomes two-footed, then three-footed? I'll repeat that. What has one voice and yet becomes four-footed, then two-footed, then three-footed? Well, Oedipus marches on up to the Sphinx and her big old boobies and says, the answer to your question, oh, Sphinxicus, is man. First he crawls on all fours, then he is upright on two legs, and as he gets older with age, he has a cane, and he walks on three. And with that, the Sphinx lets out a terrible roar and takes the hell off, saving the people in this ancient Greek mythological understanding. So the riddle of the Sphinx is really the great riddle of man, which is self-knowledge, knowing what man is, knowing what we are from, knowing the cycle of life that we go through, because when we're done with this cycle of life and we go back up to the all that is to figure out our next journey, we become actualized there. And then we come back through the veil of forgetfulness to start it all over again and learn the next adventure that we decide we need to have. And this is all about self-knowledge. This is what the High Priestess talks to us about. I have 3 minutes left, and so, Blue-Eyed Goddess, do I have anybody else coming in that I can talk to for a minute or two? Hello. Yes. I think I have Regina. I have Regina on the line.
Yes. Hi, Jason.
Hi, Regina. Where are you calling in from?
I'm calling from Georgia.
I love it. And for all of you people out there that don't know, her name means queen. Regina, as in Regina Celli of the skies. So talk to me, Regina. What do we want? And I have 3 minutes. I have 3 minutes left. Hit me with a quick question so I can give you a quick answer.
Okay. Well, I am looking for full-time work or something more stable. Do you see something coming in for me?
All right. Hold on, please. I hated your ex clear. I didn't like him at all. Okay. Right now, I didn't like your ex-boss. I don't know what the situation was, but I did not like this person. In the present, it is the Three of Swords. And this Three of Swords is somebody who's clutching on to the old ways of doing things. And in spite of herself, she is going to muscle her way through. Whatever way you are using to find a job, I want you to shift gears and do something else. If you're using the internet, then go on foot. If you're using going on foot, then I want you to go to the internet or use a three-pronged approach. Use everything you can, including getting a headhunter. But the ways in which you're trying to look for a job right now, I feel are not going to serve you. In the immediate future, the card of strength comes up. And so I want you to know that it's probably going to happen within the next 11 weeks. So batten down the hatches, be brave, and go ahead and get outside your comfort zone. Does that make sense to you?
Not really. No, not really.
Tell me why not really.
I guess if that means I need to find something different than what I was used to in my old career, because I'm open to other areas. I am, because I can always transfer my skills that I had in my old career and to somewhere else.
So that middle card tells me that you should not be doing the same thing again. You should look for a different way of finding a job or a different kind of job. Same thing again is not going to produce fruit for you. I'm going to continue to talk to you for a couple of seconds, Regina, but I want everyone to know I have about 30 seconds left. So I want to thank everybody for listening to the show. I want to thank my blue-eyed goddess, and I look forward to seeing you all next week where we discuss the next card. And thank you for your patronage, and God bless everyone. And the show goes off in about 15 seconds. You can continue to listen on. But, Regina, I am still with you. I want to continue to discuss what it is that you do and what it is that you can translate it to. Okay?
Okay. Well,
so what is it?
Well, previously I was working in the social work field, but now that I want to do something more like a leadership or administrative or administrator position.
Yes. Okay, so before you started talking, the word administrator came into my head. I mean that sincerely and honestly. So I think doing the administrative work would be excellent. I'm pulling cards as we speak. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Okay, the Four of Wands comes from before, just like the other lady that I had, which means you have done your work. You don't need to do any more certifications. You don't need to go back to school. You don't need to get a new skill set. Your skill set is fantastic. Hold true to this idea of doing something different, because the Ace of Swords is at present at work with you, which means if you stay and believe that you can do this, you will do this. I want you, however, to understand that it might not be a step up economically. You might be in the same pay range, and that's okay. That's going to be for the next 9 months in the job. But after that 9 months, you will progress to the next pay scale. Does that make sense?
Yes, it is.
Wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So I send you blessings. I'm psyched that we got the chance to talk, and I look forward to hearing good news from you in the future. Feel free to go ahead and give me a contact and let me know whether I was just out of my mind.
Okay.
or whether I'm being validated by the universe, okay?
Exactly. Okay. Thank you.
Big hug and kiss. Have a great holiday.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye now.